2018, and I'm really pleased with how this is working out. What I said in the first video that I did is that I'm going to do Aries to Virgo before lunch because, as I predicted, my phone is almost dead, so hopefully I can get through this broadcast. And then I need to recharge my camera, and I'll have lunch, and then I will do Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces after lunch. So if your horoscope isn't up yet, don't worry, it'll be up today. I will do those this afternoon, and that'll be the morning for a lot of you if you're living in the States. Love you back. So Virgo, welcome to your horoscope for September 2018. The couple of things you need to realize first is that Mercury's gone direct, so your ruler is direct again, so no problems there. From the 30th of August until the 14th of September, the Sun is in your sign of Virgo, so happy birthday, Virgo, and it opposes Neptune in Pisces. Now, the Sun is sitting in your first house of self, obviously, because this is your season, this is your time, you feel comfortable. It opposes Neptune in the 7th house. So the dream of relationships is really not going to bother you. You know, oh, I long for a partner, the dream of what it could be like with someone else. You're not in that space. For the first 2 weeks of the month, you're going to be in the space of, I'm a Virgo, I love the way I operate, I love that I know things, I love that I can absorb info, that I can make sense of things. I love that I'm practical, and you really feel good about yourself, and you're not interested in anyone's approval or opinion, which is fab. Because you, as a Virgo, often feel duty-bound and obligated, and you have a respite from that for the first 2 weeks in September, so that's awesome. For the whole of September until the 1st of October, Uranus is in Taurus, and that's in your 9th house of travel, education, and expansion, and that squares Mars. And Mars is the male principle of drive and desire. Now, Mars is at 28 degrees in Capricorn in your 5th house of romantic relationships, and so are Pluto and Saturn, all in Capricorn. So there's a sense here, those planets in your 5th house say you've got to work on relationships to make them happen. And Uranus in your 9th says, don't worry about relationships. Do something practical that you enjoy. Go on a trip if you have the luxury of going on a trip. Go away somewhere, broaden your horizons, do something for you, learn something for you. Don't work on relationships, work on yourself. And that's where the friction is. Those are totally opposite messages, right? Mars, Saturn, and Pluto are saying work on relationships to make it work, while the Sun and Neptune are saying, I really don't care about relationships right now. And Uranus is saying, work on yourself. And if you work on yourself, the relationship side of things is going to take care of itself anyway, because Uranus is at 2 degrees. 1 and 2 is a relationship. So, first 2 weeks, go your own way. Don't bother so much with what other people think, what you ought to be doing, and just do what you think is right and what fills you with fire and what makes you feel excited. You've got your ruler Mercury here at the beginning of the month at 22 degrees in Leo in the 12th house. So 22 is the master node of the builder. What you say goes, really, on the 1st of September. Now, that's the 1st of September. You feel very confident, very strong within yourself. On the 2nd of September, there's a bigger shift towards the moon in Gemini in your 10th house, and it connects with Mars. So on the 2nd, you're really going to be focused on work and communicating. On the 3rd as well, and on the 4th. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th of September for Virgos is excellent to go for job interviews, to change jobs, to ask for a promotion, to ask for an increase in pay, to communicate your needs. It's also a wonderful time, especially on the 4th. Oh, I'm getting tingling everywhere down my side of my neck. On the 4th, if you do a speech about, let's say you're in AA, in Alcoholics Anonymous, and you, as part of your service, you go into schools and you talk to year 11s and year 12s who are between year 10s, 11s, and 12s who are between 16 and 18. And you talk to them about alcoholism and what it does, where it's taken you. It won't help. Most kids don't learn from other people's experiences, but some do. And some of them will remember that speech and will benefit from your wisdom and your experience and your sharing of that. So on the 4th, you can really do good by being of service, especially. God, today is very burpy, sorry. Especially if your work involves communication, or you can be of service in your career if it involves communication. So if you work with IT or in technology or something like that, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are when you're at the peak of your powers. On the 5th of September, a grand trine appears in water. It connects your Jupiter in your 3rd house in Scorpio. So Jupiter is the good luck planet, and it's in your 3rd house of communication and the way you think. And you as a Virgo are ruled by Mercury, the communication planet, and the planet of how you think. So the good luck that you've got this month is that you're really thinking clearly and that you understand yourself and you don't settle for things that are beneath you. You know what's going on, you're razor sharp, and you get it. So on the 5th, that grand trine then connects Jupiter with Neptune in the 7th and your moon in Cancer in your 11th. So on this day, you have another grand trine, which is in Earth and Fire, Mercury, Saturn, and Uranus in Capricorn and Taurus. So again, you've got the decision. Do I focus on my personal relationships or do I focus on my career and working on my relationships? And what I think you ought to do is work on realizing your own hopes and dreams and taking care of yourself. To a lot of you, that's going to sound selfish. God, this astrologer man is telling me to put myself first in front of other people. Yeah, I am. Because you as a Virgo tend to often feel very much like it's your job to protect and take care of other people. And especially this month, that conflict is heightened. And this is a month where you can really do very well in terms of communicating and freeing yourself from the prison of other people's opinions and approval. So charity begins at home. You've got a lot of energy to give, and I would recommend that you use that charity on yourself because you deserve it. On the 6th of September, Mercury, your ruler, goes into your 1st house in Virgo, into your sign at 0 degrees. So from the 6th of September until the 22nd, when Mercury, your ruler, goes into Libra, these are your days of communicating perfectly. You're going to be articulate, eloquent, more charming and precise than you've ever been. You can research, you can really research a book you're writing, you can really learn and absorb everything. If you're a student, if you're on a course or something, this is your month to really just speed up the whole learning process and to just absorb the knowledge. You're much faster at learning than you usually are, and you're usually pretty good at learning anyway. On the 7th, we have that grand trine still in place in Earth, but the other one's gone now. So this one is, again, saying work on your relationships. So the ego is almost distracting you on the 7th, saying work on your relationships, whereas the great thing that you can do is really work on yourself. So that's the big trap that you're presented with here in September. I feel driven to work to make my relationships better, which is not going to work, which is just going to make other people take you for granted even more. Or you have the choice of working on yourself, which may feel a bit selfish. If you put energy into that, you really raise your confidence, you raise your frequency, you start to do things that you're proud of, you start to magically take action which you hadn't planned, and you really elevate yourself to the next level. It's your birthday present. So focus on that. It's not selfish, it's elevating yourself so that you can help people more effectively in future. Think of it that way. On the 8th of September, that friction is going to continue, but luckily your moon is at 27 degrees in Leo in your 12th house. So this is a day where you can feel fire of spirit, the fire of spirit. where it's not just I'm meditating and, oh yeah, it felt kind of nice and I was relaxed. It's like, wow, I discovered this flame inside of myself. I was shown this during my meditation, and I need to take this flame and make it real. And that's what you're able to do. On the 8th, you'll get some sort of insight, a visitation. On the 9th of September, we have the new moon in your sign of Virgo. So the new moon, I will make separate videos on the new moon and full moon, but the new moon is when the moon is totally black and it pulls lots of energy in. It's pulling your energy in so that it completes its next monthly cycle. So it's pulling in your energy of Virgo. So you will feel Virgo squared, you will feel super energized and like the world is your oyster. On the next day, the moon is still, let me just check. On the next day, the moon is still in Virgo, so you're still going to feel that. Nothing can stop me. I can learn whatever I want. I can move wherever I want. I really have freedom to decide over my life, and I am not obligated or duty-bound to anything or anyone. Amazing. On the 9th of September also, Venus moves into Scorpio in your 3rd house of communication. So remember, the good luck this month comes from you communicating and from you being honest with yourself and learning about yourself and listening to the messages from the universe. Now, with Venus going into your 3rd house of communication, what it is you love is to really get to the depths, to the truth of situations. And as a Virgo, you're nosy anyway. You love to know what's going on and you love to get the answer. So this is the time now on the 9th to get spiritual answers. Why do my relationships not work? Meditate on that and you'll get the answer. It's because you're too demanding, for instance. Or why don't my finances work? Go down deep within yourself and don't be afraid and you'll find the answer. You have a part to play. If your life doesn't work, you have a part to play in that. If your life does work, you have a part to play in that. And it's not about putting our heads in the sand and going into denial. It's about facing the ugly truth, changing it, and making it better. So Virgo, it's a present that's kind of a tough present because you're going to have to look at yourself and you have the opportunity to make your own life better. On the 10th, I bought a very cheap laptop and I'm getting kind of cheap results. I bought this, so it's a Windows laptop so I can have SolarFire on it. SolarFire doesn't work on Macs. I've got a Mac and I've got Astro Gold. I don't find it as good. The 10th of September is fully Earth. So this is another day where you can say no wrong. You should try and build your own business or understand yourself, or really figure out why certain things aren't going well in your life to find the answers so that you can reverse the answers and do something about it. So it takes a bit of guts to look at yourself and face that stuff. Guys, the 28 of you watching, please share this broadcast. I'd be ever so grateful. I've discovered that on YouTube Live, you can share these live broadcasts to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, everything. So please share this. I'd be very grateful. On the 11th of September, Mars moves out of Capricorn and it moves into Aquarius in your 6th house. So from the 11th onwards, you're now going to focus on work and how you can use all of this understanding and learning that you've done, and the first 2 weeks of September, how you can use that and your power to now be of service to other people, and how you can use this to help others. The moon is also at 11 degrees in Libra on this day in your 2nd house of money. So if you express yourself, if you teach others, you're adding value to their lives and you're adding value to yourself in the form of prosperity, financial abundance. On the 12th, a strong opposition between the moon and Venus and Uranus. So continue to speak your truth, and you might have a conflict of, should I say this? It's a little bit controversial. I'm a little bit scared of making this public or making this part of my work. So I would suggest that you do take the risk. This is a universe, this planet is a planet that rewards people who take risks. And on the 12th and 13th, any risk you take is really gonna go in your favor, especially if it's a communicative risk. If you decide to put yourself out there and speak your truth in some way. If you've discovered something about yourself, if you've discovered a way of healing yourself, then share that. You know, I discovered a way of naming people. Like Doreen Virtue did this. She said certain people are star people and star children and indigos and crystals. And I can, looking at people's charts, I can say, you're a magic person. You're a magic earth creature. I could say anyone with a triple earth or a triple water or air or fire is this special creature, is like an elemental come to life. But I don't do that because none of us is special. We're all the same and we all have the same ability to connect with the universe. Some of us, like running, we can all run or walk. But some of us are able to run quicker than others. It's just a matter of practice. So I never agreed with making people special and putting them up on pedestals because we don't ever put anyone on a pedestal. And you see that this month and you're really able to talk about that and really heal a lot of people who have given their power away to other people. And you can help them claim it back. On the 14th, yeah, there's more friction between your transiting midheaven in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, and your Sun in Virgo at 21 degrees, and that Neptune at 5 degrees in your 7th. So any sort of injustice that you see, any social injustice, like in Britain today, we have 25,000 people who are living in slavery conditions. If you find something today that you find an injustice, you're going to speak out about it. And if you have a platform, use that platform to do something about it. If you're retired, this is a great time for you to stand up for something you believe in and to become an activist. If you're working, this is something where you realize, I'm not satisfied with the work, or I have a lot more to share with people. And my work isn't allowing me to speak my entire truth. So either I'm going to continue with the day job and start something else on the side, which allows me to communicate. That's the message this month. Communicate, Virgo. You've got a lot of good stuff to share, valuable stuff to share. You can do it on the side of your existing job, or you can make it your job altogether. The two strongest elements on the 14th are water and earth. So spirituality and ideas and making them real. On the 15th, we've got a grand trine in fire. It combines Chiron, the North Node, and the Moon. So you will feel like you've done something good that you would be proud to tell your family about. On the 16th, there is a trine between Pluto in Capricorn and Mercury and the Sun in your first. So by communicating publicly, now on the 16th, it's likely that something is going to change in your romantic life. That you may meet someone new if you're single, or that it's mainly for single Virgos who will meet someone new through work. If you're in a relationship already, you can, Virgos who are in couples or marriages can relax in September. There's nothing negative that's going to happen to your marriage. It's rock solid, but there's potential for the marriage or the relationship to grow. But if you're single, that's the best because a new person will come into your life, very likely on the 16th. On the 17th, that continues. On the 18th, we've got Saturn, the Moon, and Pluto now all sitting in your 5th house. And remember that at the beginning of the reading, I said you have a desire to work on your relationships, and that doesn't work. You've just got to let them take care of themselves. And when the Moon in Capricorn joins those two in your 5th house on the 18th, you're really going to feel that very strongly. If I want a boyfriend, girlfriend, I'm going to have to work hard at it. And that's, again, be prepared for that and don't work at it. Just hand it over to the universe, surrender it, and let it happen. It's not up to you to make it happen. Let go of control. I know I'm saying this to a Virgo. Let go of control. The 19th sees a trine between Mars in Aquarius and your Sun and Mercury in your first. So again, this is about moving forward in your work. So we're all about, this month, Virgo, is all about you focusing on yourself and expanding in terms of your business, finding a platform which allows you to communicate and express your truth. You're going to have this trap of, I need to work on my relationships, which you need to push aside, and you need to communicate more, which is going to bring relationships into your life already and anyway. Now, you have a grand cross in the chart from the 8th until the 22nd of September, and from the 18th until the 22nd, it gets much stronger. A grand cross is a big red square that's made up of 4 squares, and that creates a lot of energy in your chart. So it connects your Uranus with your North Node, Uranus and Taurus with your North Node in Leo, Venus in Scorpio in your 3rd house, and Mars in Aquarius in your 6th. So on any given day during this period, you will want to travel independently. You will want to achieve your life purpose and be applauded by others and be recognized for the good you've done. You'll want to express yourself creatively and to share your deepest, darkest feelings. Also, you'll want to have relationships and be a humanitarian and do things for others. Can't do all of that in one day. So, especially Virgos, you guys take on so much information, and multitasking really isn't your go-to because you worry that you're not doing it correctly. Some Virgos suffer from perfectionism, which I'm not laughing, I'm not joking about. Perfectionism can be like a disability, it can cripple you. So during this Grand Cross, just remember to do 1 or 2 things at a time at most, to keep things very simple, to pace yourself and your energy, and to just do one thing after the other. And mainly focus on developing your work, and the second thing, give yourself a platform to communicate. If you're lucky like me, my work is communicative, so I can use my platform to communicate in September. So if you're in a position that's similar, that brings the two together, then even better. On the 23rd, we have got almost a mystic rectangle. One of the sides is missing, but I'm still going to count it. It connects Chiron, the North Node in Leo, the Sun and Mercury in Libra, and Mars in Aquarius. So on this day, you have a gift to heal others and to break through. So for you to create a video or an article or a piece of writing or communication that's really going to hit, that will have a lot of viewers, a lot of success, because it adds so much value. Because you have a mystic rectangle allows you to have a personal experience of the universe. So any Virgos out there who are still in active addiction, this is a great month for you to have that spiritual awakening, so that you can solve your problem. The only solution to an addiction problem is a spiritual one. So if you're an atheist and you hate God or the word God, which a lot of people do because you had bad experience with it, then the 23rd is a wonderful day for you to, despite yourself, become willing that there might be something bigger out there that has your back. And if you tune into that for a millisecond on the 23rd of September, the universe is going to take a giant step towards you and is going to help you out. So if you have a problem and you want to do something about it, but you don't want to do something about it because you think it's the one thing that keeps you together, 23rd is your day. 24th, we've got a strong trine between Jupiter and the love planet Venus, and the moon and Neptune in the 7th. So this is a day of universal love. You communicate love. This is a day where you should really write and project yourself, because you have a loving message to express that enlightens other people and that magnetically draws people to you. So I have to make a list in my mind to make videos at the end of September. Guys, remind me to make lots and lots of videos at the end of September, because I'm a Virgo and I'm affected by this as well. So for you, you're spreading the love on the 23rd, 22nd, 24th. If you're a matchmaker, if you like to set people up, your friends, do that around this time of the month. You'll really make good matches. On the 25th, we have the full moon in Aries. I'll make a separate video on the new and full moons, like I said, but on the 25th, the full moon is totally bright and it showers you with Aries energy. It's in your 8th house next to Chiron. So what this full moon does is it pulls you back into yourself and it says, I don't need to listen to other people's opinions. They've hurt me in the past. I'm going to keep that at bay and I'm going to focus on what I'm creating, the communicative amazingness that I'm working on. And I'm just going to do that because it's giving me a sense of freedom. And I feel like I've got a relationship with something bigger that's divinely guiding me in writing this or painting this or making these flowers or whatever it is. So the 25th is a day of independently creating wonderful things. So the day before you were a messenger of love. Today you can create something tangible that's going to stand the test of time and that may serve as your legacy long after you've gone. On the 26th, you have a grand trine in fire and water. So use your intuitive insights, communicate those. Those are what's going to put you in the spotlight and will create that legacy. On the 27th, we have an opposition between Venus and Uranus. So on the 27th, you feel obligated to say something in your work. You feel something has to be said. So whether it's a boss groping people, or whether it's a product that's being missold, or whether there's behavior you spotted that's unacceptable. There's something chaotic going on in your work, and you address it today, and you say it with love for making it better. So that's the theme of September for you. You're looking at everything, you're looking at yourself, and you're able to make things better. But you also apply that at the end of the month here on the 27th to your circumstances, to your work. So if you're self-employed, that's the easiest because it's like, oh, my booking site really isn't very effective. I'm going to change that, for example. Or if you're employed and you're in a business like that and you say, listen, this manager is bullying me, this needs to change. So the 27th is the day where you speak your truth and you don't care where the chips fall, it has to be said. So if you don't, if your boss is a nightmare and you're worried that you can't at times keep it zipped and you want to keep this job, you don't want to make the change right now because it's too inconvenient, don't go into work on the 27th or try and really, really keep it zipped if you have to go in because you'll feel very comfortable speaking your truth. On the 28th, we have a grand trine in Earth. So another great day to take your ideas and put them into practice. 29th is the same, but you have a Star of David now. So you're divinely guided. You're being divinely, you're getting divine downloads, which you can put into practice, and you're a medium. You've got one foot or one part of your mind in the higher realms and one part of your mind here on Earth, and you can combine them. So any mediums, clairvoyants, psychics, intuitives working as Virgos, the 29th is the best day for you to do readings for your clients, and it's wonderful. You'll get so much information. But for all the other Virgos, you'll be massively inspired to create something artistic or to write or to express yourself again, because it's information that's coming from something bigger. So it's not just, this is my opinion. It's like, this is a universal truth that needs to be shared. And that's what you're tuning into this month. And that's why potentially you can get into problems with your working relationships if you criticize people, or your personal relationships if you fail to recognize that you're working hard at them. You need to stop all work on relationships this month. They will come to you. The final day of the month, you go out with another Star of David. One grand trine is in air, the other one is in water. So your feelings and ideas are so heightened, you get amazing, amazing insights and intuitions and feelings. Write those down on the 30th because you'll be able to go into October and really implement them. And I think it has to do with your relationships, that you put out all these things, the dreams about your relationships, and that'll start to manifest and come into your life in September, October for you, Virgo. So that's what I get for you here in this month. I hope it gives you something to go on and it gives you something to work with. If you have any questions for me or you would like a personal reading, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. In my personal readings, I use astrology, numerology, and the tarot. The astrology is a blueprint of your soul. Yeah, good luck to all you Virgos out there. I echo Claudia. It's a blueprint of your soul. It shows me what you're meant to do work-wise. It shows me why you've come back into this lifetime, where you've been in past lifetimes. It shows me what's destined for you in health and family and love and money. And I can also look at compatibility, where the best place to live is. I can answer any of your questions. So please order a reading with me. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to book it. Hit the subscribe button on this channel and turn the bell on to be notified when I go live, because I do live readings where I do those for people who can't afford readings. So if you have a question, I take a deck of tarot cards and I pull a card for you to give you a general idea of whether you're on the right track or not. So click on the bell and the subscribe to be notified of when I'm live, and then you can ask me actual questions and I'll answer them for free for you. Have a wonderful month. Mwah. Big kisses to you, and I'll speak to you soon. I will speak to the other signs after lunch, Libra through until Pisces. So don't worry if your horoscopes haven't appeared, they will appear this afternoon. All the best. Take care.